Can this watch save you $50,000? Well, ever since I started this watch channel, people have been raving about Specht and Söhne, specifically this $100 Aquanaut homage, as it supposedly offers unparalleled value for money and quality at this low price point. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't believe the majority of you, especially after reviewing the underwhelming homage to the Royal Chronometer. But I have to say, after getting this beautiful watch in the middle, you guys might be onto something. And as a bonus for you all, I will be revisiting the contentious topic of Clomage watches. This watch comes in a cardboard box, and the watch is protected by some bubble wrap and wrapping in general. But one thing I do have to mention is how difficult it is to get the plastic off this watch. It took me a good 3 minutes to do so. After getting it out of the plastic, it looks amazing. It comes with a watch cushion, a spring bar tool, a microfiber cloth, and a weird $680 price tag and your warranty card. This comes in at 41 millimeters in diameter without the crown, 43 millimeters with the crown, 48 millimeters in lug to lug, 11.6 millimeters in thickness, 20 millimeters at the top of the strap, 17.2 millimeters at the bottom of the strap, and 5 millimeters for the crown. So just for complete transparency, Specht and Söhne did send over this watch, and I don't have to send it back. But of course, that doesn't impact my review and the contents of it. This is powered by the Miyota 8215, which is a hand-winding and hackable movement that's been running around plus 5 seconds per day. And this also comes with a mineral glass crystal alongside a fully solid stainless steel construction with a rose gold tone to it. Now, in terms of the downsides of the specifications, the only things I can think of are that mineral glass crystal, which is more prone to scratching than sapphire, and the fact that this is a somewhat noisy Miyota rotor compared to a Seiko NH35, for instance. But I do have to say that compared to my other Miyota watch, this is a lot quieter. Okay, so we have to talk about the major elephant in the room, and it is most definitely this rose gold colored case. Now, considering that it's actually made out of stainless steel, they did a very good job at making this look quite close to rose gold, and I have to tell you that it is so eye-catching that one of my friends, who is most definitely not a watch enthusiast, kept taking glances at it while I was wearing it. She kept looking down on my wrist, and I most definitely did not tell her about this watch. I was just wearing it casually. I didn't try to make it look ostentatious and show it around to everyone, but I'm pretty sure she was a fan. Another thing is the mixture of polishing and brushing. So the majority of the case is vertically brushed, with the top of the mid case being polished and the sides of the bezel being polished, alongside the flanks having some englage. Now, the way I could summarize this case is with this phrase: it looks really good in poor lighting conditions, and it looks amazing in good lighting conditions. So this dial has a mixture of a sunburst effect and a waffle pattern. Now, it is unlike anything that you'll see outside of, obviously, the Aquanaut that this is homaging or clomaging, but it just looks so beautiful, and it reminds me of milk chocolate, especially because of that sunburst dial. Another thing I have to mention is the white Arabic numerals that contrast with the brown dial that make this watch extremely legible. And one difference I noticed between the actual Aquanaut and this dial is that this date aperture doesn't actually cut into the 3 o'clock indice, whereas the actual Patek Philippe Aquanaut does. And I actually prefer the way that Specht and Söhne did it, because it actually keeps at least some semblance of symmetry compared to the Aquanaut that just kind of throws it all out the window and says, hey, we'll just cut into the indice instead. If you like this watch, I mean, after all, you're watching this video, I will have it affiliate linked in the description down below. So if you purchase it, that means I will get a little bit of commission, so you're helping out the channel at no extra cost to you. This comes on a brown rubber strap that is supremely comfortable, and it follows the same pattern as the dial because it has a waffle pattern, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows because I do have some complaints about it that I'll mention in the design drawbacks section of this video. And also, if you're enjoying this video, I'd heavily recommend hitting that like and subscribe button and hitting that notifications bell to get notified on the latest videos on this channel. Just as a quick sneak peek, I'm actually going to do a review on the Specht and Söhne PRX. That's going to be an interesting one. And also, if you are enjoying this channel, I am so happy to announce channel membership. So now you can be a part of the Time Ticker team, and as part of the Time Ticker team, you will get early access to videos henceforth, and you will also get more frequent updates on my life and a whole bunch of other stuff that you can check out. So I would also really appreciate that if you checked it out. If you're enjoying this video, I definitely recommend commenting down below what you think of this watch, just starting a conversation, because as always, I am very diligent in responding to the majority, if not all, of your comments in the comment section down below. And the last thing I want to mention is this Discord server called Watch Out, and you can post wrist shots, talk watches, do all that good stuff snob free, which I am a very big fan of. And to be completely transparent, Lionel, the owner of the server, did reach out to me, but this video is not sponsored whatsoever. It just seems like a very welcoming community, and I definitely recommend you checking them out. And the last thing I want to mention is that they have a giveaway going on right now, so I'll link all of that stuff in the description down below. Let's get right back into the video. So one thing I noticed about this watch is that you actually can't close it from the front, because if you do so and then you try to close the back part of the clasp, then it just pops out just like that. And another thing I'm not a huge fan of is cutting and sizing this rubber band to your wrist, because it can be quite nerve-wracking because you can't uncut something you just cut. And it also means that no one else can wear this watch because it is sized to my wrist forever. And if I ever plan on selling it, I'd have to buy another rubber strap, or the other person would have to buy another rubber strap to wear this watch. Now, for some people, this may be a upside because it mirrors how you actually size a real Aquanaut, and it also means that no one else is going to be taking your watch because they can't wear it. But personally, this is a drawback. And another thing I noticed on this watch is a tiny speck of black paint on the hour hand, which isn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but I just thought I'd let you know. So the lume on this watch is actually quite good compared to, for instance, something like a Pagani design, because this lume lasts for around an hour, which makes it really good for checking the time right before going to bed. And this also has only 50 meters of water resistance, and if that, because as you know, with these Chinese companies, you can't be 100% sure when it comes to those water resistance claims. But considering that the actual Aquanaut only has a stated water resistance of 30 meters, I think I can somewhat excuse it. As I mentioned before, this rubber strap is supremely comfortable, and I think just on the day-to-day, it is very comfortable. I have worn, I think, up to 19 watches at this point while doing my reviews, and I've worn them quite a bit, and I'd have to say that compared to the rest of my 19 watches, this has to be up there in terms of comfortability, so I would not be concerned whatsoever. If you have a larger wrist, another upside of this watch is that it comes with a comically large rubber strap that you can cut, so there's no issues with having a wrist that's too big that won't fit the watch. Of course, they cut some corners here and there. It's not the thinnest watch. It uses mineral crystal. It has a Miyota movement instead of a Seiko movement, but I think for the $100 price point, there's not much that beats it. One thing I want to mention is that I am not the arbiter of all morality in determining whether a Clomage is something that you should purchase or whether it's right to purchase a Clomage. I think it's up to you to determine whether you are okay with a watch taking very heavy inspiration from another watch, essentially copying and pasting a watch, and putting a different name on the dial, if you're comfortable with that, then I think this watch offers something that other people were mentioning, an unparalleled value for money proposition, and just overall great quality watch for the price point. So I think that this Clomage issue is up to the individual. I don't think it's fair for any one person to determine whether it's right or whether it's wrong. And I'm still determining where exactly I stand. And when I do have a cohesive opinion, I will notify all of you on that in some video. So with all that said, I want to thank you for making it to the end of this video. I really do appreciate your viewership and just your interest in this watch channel. And I hope that this watch channel patinas like your favorite watch. I will see you on another episode on the Time Ticker.